On two counts, the leper in the gospel violated the law of Moses. Firstly, he was not supposed to stay inside the town because he was afflicted by the disease of leprosy. He was supposed to isolate himself, perhaps stay in a cave in the wilderness, away from the people, where his relatives could probably bring him some food provisions every now and then. Secondly, he was not supposed to come near people in case he crossed paths with them. He was obliged by the law to warn people by identifying himself as a person afflicted with leprosy and by shouting from a distance, "Unclean, unclean," in order to give them the opportunity to avoid him or to run away from him. St. Luke tells us the man approached Jesus. He was not supposed to do that. He knelt before Jesus and pleaded with him. I would refer you to the book of Numbers and the book of Leviticus, Numbers chapter 5 and Leviticus chapters 13 and 14 to find out the background. Well, Jesus himself was also violating the law by doing what he was not supposed to do. He was supposed to avoid the man. He was supposed to run away from him. But he approached him and touched him. And by doing this, well, he was compromising the health of many other people he was going to come into contact with. Kasi nga, alam nila, contagious ang leprosy. We can presuppose from the way St. Luke tells the story that his disciples had witnessed the contact. Kasi kung silang dalawa lang, how come naikwento ni St. Luke? In the movie The Chosen, the disciples' instinctive reaction to the leper was to withdraw or to keep distance from him. Well, Jesus is able to prove that a disease could not possibly be more contagious than grace, than the grace that comes with compassion. Kung nakakahawa ang sakit, mas nakakahawa ang malasakit. And take note of the request. The leper does not say, "If you can, please help me get cured." Ang sinabi niya, "If you wish." And then the response of Jesus is surprising. He does not just say, "Yes, I wish." Rather, he says, "Yes, I do will it." Parang mas matindi ang determination about wanting the man to be healed by willing it, not just wishing it. Ang dali naman to wish things, But afterwards, he orders the man to keep quiet about it after he gets healed. And instead, he instructs him to do as he was required by the law of Moses, which was to submit himself for a bodily inspection by the priest, who would be the only one who could publicly declare him as officially cured. The only one in a position to allow him to return to the community and his family after making the prescribed thanksgiving offering. And then after this, what follows is a reversal of situations. Jesus is the one who ends up withdrawing to deserted places and going into solitude. He reaches out to people in their solitude of isolation in order to reunite them with the community. Siguro yun ang dahilan why Jesus frequented the wilderness. Not only to pray, but also to meet the people in solitude in the wilderness because they're rejected, isolated. The solitude of Jesus was of a different kind. It was a solitude that brought him to a deeper and a more intimate communion with his Father. And it drew more people to come to him and ask to be touched by him. By going deeper into a solitude of communion through prayer, Jesus is able to draw people out of their solitude of rejection and isolation. He's able to restore them, to reunite them with their families, with their communities. The other day, we reflected on the amazing effects of prayer on the disciples, on the environment, and on Jesus himself. Well, today, our gospel is teaching us how prayer leads us to the positive solitude of communion and how prayer has the power to draw people out of the negative solitude of isolation.